tell us about your experience getting dual citizenship.
Hi, I'm Greg.
And I'm Alice.
We're two Chicano punks who are about to move to Mexico City.
And we wanted to tell you a little bit about our process. Some of you seemed very interested in how I got Mexican citizenship.
And I didn't. And you'll find out.
So I wanted to share the process with you. You've asked me a lot of questions on my Instagram. So the reason that I was able to get citizenship and Greg wasn't is because my parents were born in Mexico. Greg's grandparents were born in Mexico, but he didn't qualify. You have to have at least one parent born in Mexico. The first thing you need to do is get your Mexican parents' birth certificate, even if you only find one of them. All that matters is that you get it from Mexico. You can order it online. Some of them are available, but if your parent was born in a small town or maybe they were born to a midwife, it might be difficult. But there's hope. There are ways to get things done. I had difficulty finding my mother's birth certificate. So I went through Acta America, which is a company in Texas that helped me get my mother's birth certificate, and they charged me $80, which was, I think, very fair. Okay, so let's say you got your parents' birth certificate. The next thing you need to do is request a copy of your own birth certificate. It can't be a photocopy, it has to be an official copy. You can write to the county registrar, vital records, and get your copy. That sounds like it should be easy, right? And it can be, but there is an extra step. The next thing you need to do is get something that's called an apostille. I know, it's strange. I'd never heard of it before either. This is an extra level of authenticity. You get a stamp, you get a paper that's notarized that says, yes, the Secretary of State says that this document is true. You're just about ready to go to the Mexican consulate and register your birth. You'll need a copy of a passport or a driver's license to prove your identity. Not only that, you'll need the originals and copies of everything. The last step is the hardest step. You'll need to register at the Mexican government's website, which is called Mexitel. You'll create a password and you'll sign up and you'll get something back that says you're registered. And then you'll be able to make an appointment to go in and register your birth certificate, your parents' birth certificate. This process is called Registro Civil. So if you look it up on the Mexican website, look under Registro Civil, dual citizenship. Now, I tried to do this process during quarantine, and it was very difficult. It was hard for me to get an appointment. So in the end, I cheated and just went through Acta America, who filed my registration for me. Registro Civil is free if you do it at the consulate. There's also now an option to do it online where you can upload a PDF or PDFs of your documents. I haven't tried that. This is relatively new and I don't know what the process entails, but you can look it up at Mexitel and get all the details. I tried to do this process during quarantine and I was unsuccessful at getting an appointment, so I went through Acta America, who charged me an additional fee, but did it for me, and it was painless. So if you run into any problem, as usual, there is another way to do things. So once you get your papers in, either in person or uploaded online or through Acta America, you can expect a new Mexican birth certificate. Yeah, that's right. It's a whole new birth certificate for you. It'll say Mexicana nacido en el extranjero or Mexicano nacido en el extranjero. They don't have Mexicanex yet, but we'll get it there. But how exciting. Not only do you get a new birth certificate, you get something called a CURP. And a CURP is a very important thing. It's a number, I guess alphanumerical combination that is specifically designated for you. Similar, but not exactly the same as a social security number. You'll need that number if you're going to open a bank account, if you're going to buy a car. There's lots of uses for the CURP. But the most important use is that it lets you log on to official government websites with ease. So make sure you keep that CURP handy. So now you are a Mexican citizen. But you know, if you're like me, you're thinking, great, I'm a Mexican citizen. This is really exciting. I still need a Mexican passport. So shall we go to step 2? All right, you're ready for step 2. The first thing you have to do is decide what name is going to go on my passport. I wanted to use my married name, so I had to send away for a copy of my marriage license. I was married in Nevada, in Las Vegas. So I sent away for the official document. I got it back, and then what do you think I had to do? That's right, apostille. I had to send it back to the Secretary of State and get that extra stamp, get that extra paper that's stapled on, notarized, and says, yes, she's officially married and can use this last name. So now I've got my birth certificate, I've got my CURP, I've got my apostilled marriage license. Let me look at my list. You'll want to bring either a driver's license or passport, maybe even both. Your checkbook or credit card to pay for your passport. Maybe a snack, because you'll be there a long time. And then it's time for that hard thing. You know what it is? That's right. You're getting back on Mexitel and you're going to make an appointment for a passport. Be patient, my friends. Do not give up hope. I nearly did many times. The way that I actually ended up getting an appointment was that I suffer from insomnia, and I was up at 5 a.m. and I thought, well, I might as well log on now and see if there are any appointments available. Lo and behold, that's when they were available, at 5 a.m. So I got my passport appointment. I took my documents in, and don't worry about writing all this stuff down, because Greg is going to put it in, and he's going to put it in down below, or else insert it into the video so you won't have to worry about it. Then you show up, expect to wait a long time, expect to be asked for things that are not on the list, expect that things that you thought were on the list will not be used at all. I was asked to bring in 2 photos, passport size photos. I actually went to a photographer and had my photos, they're not the same size as the US passport photos. They're a little bit smaller. So I went and had photos taken, only to find out that at the LA consulate, they take your photo. That might not be true at all consulates, so please maybe have those photos just in case. They're less than $20. And if you go to a photographer, I went to a really good place, which we'll link down below, in LA. They do it while you wait, and you look cute. So that's it. The rest of it is just, it's like being at the DMV. You get a number, you wait for a really long time. Trying to get the appointment is it's like trying to get that COVID vaccine in the first few months. Yeah, it's hard, but you can do it. I have faith in you. You're a punk, right? You can do it. So when they call you up, they'll go through all your papers with you. They'll give you some back. They'll keep some of them. And if it's successful, they'll just say, just go outside and wait for a little while. And you're just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting, and lunchtime comes around and you're thinking of food, but nobody's eating. And then suddenly they call you, and you go to the window and they give you your documents back, and they give you your brand new Mexican passport. And your hunger is forgotten, and all that time online is forgotten, and all that frustration that came before is forgotten, because now you have dual citizenship, and it is cause for celebration. So tell us about your experience getting dual citizenship.
My experience getting or attempting to get dual citizenship was very different from Alice's. My parents were born here in the United States, in Los Angeles to be precise, but my grandparents are from Mexico. However, that does not entitle you to Mexican citizenship. So I went in and tried to get what's called a temporary residency. And temporary residency is a different process completely, where you have to prove financial solvency, you have to have a reason for going to Mexico, you have to state a lot of facts, and only after the Mexican embassy has decided you meet their criteria do you get permission to be a temporary resident. I failed. So they didn't want me in Mexico. So back to
But you're going anyway.
But I'm going anyways, god damn it. And there is a way for me to get Mexican citizenship, and it is through marriage. I am officially now married to a Mexican citizen, Alicia, and the process is to have our marriage certificate apostilled, that word that you heard before, and then submit it in Mexico and have it recognized by the Mexican authorities. And then once they have accepted our marriage certificate, I can then apply for a temporary residency and be fast-tracked for permanent residency. Something I found out in the process of obtaining my birth certificate, marriage certificate, all the documents I needed, was that it's very important in Mexico specifically that you have the same name consistent on all documentation. And unfortunately, when Alicia and I were married in Las Vegas, they used my middle initial as opposed to my full name, my full middle name, and that would create a problem in Mexico. So I had to go back to the Clark County Registrar to have my name amended on our marriage certificate. And we're still waiting. And it's been about 3 weeks. The whole process can take some time, so I'm not too hopeful that it'll happen before we go to Mexico, but eventually we will get there. Fortunately, there's another way for me to go to Mexico, and that is using the tourist visa, which is good for 6 months. After 6 months on a tourist visa, you're required to leave Mexico and return. You don't have to return to your home country, you just have to leave Mexico for a little bit, and then you can come back. And in theory, you can do this ad infinitum. However, I'm not going to test those limits. I'll actually apply and get temporary residency at some point soon. As always, if you have any questions about anything in this video or anything in this process, please leave your questions in the comments field below, and we'll do our best to address them. We might comment back, or we might address it in a future video. And if there's anything specific that you'd like to see in a future video, please leave that in the comments as well. As always, we invite you to subscribe, click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video every week, and tell your friends about this channel. We look forward to seeing you all in Mexico City. Bye!